Lady A,
What's up?
you ready?
Yeah. What's up, fellas?
Hey, how
What's
are you?
up?
Lady A,
So I'm just coming through real quick to get y'all perspective on a couple of trending topics. So first, of course, I want to touch on Mr. Raw Dog himself, Tristan Thompson. So as y'all know, he recently announced that he fathered another child with Marilee Nichols. I don't want to so much talk about him, but I want to know, is it a problem for celebrities to have too many kids just because they can take care of them? Like, what y'all think about that?
You saying have too many just because?
Yeah. So, a lot of times when
nope.
celebrities have a lot of kids, there's always this argument about so what because they have the money to financially take care of them versus the other needs that, having children requires. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that it's okay to, father multiple children as long as you can financially take care of them? Or do you think it's still irresponsible regardless?
The family
Well,
aspect, I always say is important.
right.
If somebody decides, it's reckless behavior. If somebody decides to be reckless, it's better that they can afford it. But it's reckless for sure because you can't
Yeah.
be in all those places at one time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the money aspect of it is cool, but time matters too. Like I can't. The only person I say I seen kind of do it kind of successful is Boots, because I think a lot of them stay with him. He got all those acres, all those rooms, and all that. But I still think it's kind of irresponsible because that's gonna stretch you thin eventually. Like you can't if you got 19 kids, you gonna miss somebody's birthday, you gonna miss some graduation, you
Let's
gonna miss something.
let's ask Evander Holyfield also.
Oh yeah, he got a lot.
Yeah.
How many
You
kids he
know.
got?
11.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that even if you can take care of a lot of children financially, that like a lot of y'all have said, it's still irresponsible because there's no way that you as one person can be stretched. But just from my opinion, I feel like it's irresponsible. Tony, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I think if you can afford to take care of a kid, and depending on you and your partner, you can have as many as you want.
All right, well, moving on to the next topic. Now, I don't get into sports at all, so forgive me if I say something wrong. But I do want to touch on Mr. Antonio Brown really quickly. As you all probably heard recently, he walked off the field during a game playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now more information is coming out that he was forced to play while he was injured, and that has something to do with it. There was, some kind of whole cover up, a whole lot of things going on. I want to know, do you all think there's a wrong way to quit a job? Lawyer.
I mean, it depends on in my opinion, it depends on who it is and who they're working for. If they want to burn that bridge, you know what I mean. So not to say he's burning the bridge with the NFL, but in his merit. But I think somebody's going to pick him up. But he's just
Really?
pretty much burning the bridge with the Bucks. You know what I mean? Because even after the coach asked him to go in, you know he denied it. So I
Hmm.
think that's something, and that's just in the nature of who he is. Because he wants to be Mr. Prime Time of this
Stop the
era
cap.
anyway. You know what I mean? Making his own rap videos and riding around in a chariot and all that. But that's just the nature of who he is, which is entertaining to watch. But you know, we'll see. I'm pretty sure somebody will pick him up because he's a good talent to watch, and I would hate for him to be kicked out on some bull crap. But we'll see. We'll stay tuned.
I don't think it's so. I think if you're leaving, you're leaving. If he decide to wild out, so be it. It did look crazy, But I mean, to me, I ain't really care because I already know how he is. Like, so I didn't get too excited over it. It's like
Agreed.
not too long before that, maybe some days before. So I don't even I can't remember the date. The date a couple Houston Rockets players had refused to come back out and left the game during at halftime. One left the
Mm.
game, like, and it wasn't. I guess since it was more quiet, or maybe because of the people that it was, it didn't get all the media. But they didn't go out there and do like he did. But they still on
But
the
were they
team.
doing it to quit the team?
I don't think that's my like he did. They didn't quit, but I mean, and on the same, I don't know if he quit. Like,
Mm.
but with them, it's kind of like if one of us is at work, we
Mhm.
non-professional athletes, and we decide to just we get into it with upper management, and we decide to just leave. Did we quit or what happened?
Well, based on the media, I understand. Sports Center, they announced that they released him. So
Mhm.
when they say
After, right?
released, yeah, I mean, when they say that, I would think they fired him. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Well, I think they also said like the coach told AB that he was done if he didn't go back in. Like he was done.
Right. That's
The
So
another
coach.
yeah, that's another plug right there. I mean, I
yeah,
think they probably because that was all a part of the video again in the matter. I'm saying like, no, I'm not going in. You know what I mean? And then he started marching off the field, lassoing his stuff off into the crowd.
But the coach don't, they can't. That ain't his decision because they
I
can't
think
assign you, so they can't terminate you.
Danny, what you thinking?
I don't mess with coon balls, so
The
you said what?
organization or him? Was that the organization or him?
Organization?
Oh, got you.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what y'all were saying that a lot of times people do say like, you don't want to burn a bridge, but I can't think of any time that I've left a situation and it really mattered, as I'm moving on to anything else. Um, I do kind of wonder in his position though, because it's so publicized, will it affect how other people or other organizations look at him in terms of getting in relationships with him? Um, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I have seen, some crazy stuff about Antonio Brown in the media before, and it obviously hasn't affected him being able to be employed. So maybe it still won't have any kind of bearing. But it'll be interesting to see.
Absolutely. I concur. I mean, like I was mentioning, he's definitely gonna get picked up by somebody. Somebody gonna pick him up. Because you think about
Mhm.
it, he on his way back in, he played for I think he went from the Patriots to the Raiders down to the Bucks. So he was just like, hey, anybody, come play with us. I was hoping he actually came to the Ravens just to have him out there, but you know, like I said,
Yeah,
somebody gonna pick him up just to who he is. They don't
he
care. You know what I mean? Because if anything, that's gonna fill the seats because they don't have people to come out. So we'll see.
that's true.
he already
That's true.
considered damaged goods, so you know what you're getting when you get him. And he also is a Super Bowl champion, so um, uh, if you want to deal with the antics, you get him. But sometimes when he decides to play, I guess he plays hard, but it just
To
depends
be
on when
honest,
he lose.
I would not be surprised if he get picked up by the LA Rams.
Last thing I wanted to talk to you all about. You may or may not be familiar with Miss Nene Leaks from Real Housewives of Atlanta. But she was actually one of the breakout stars for that show. She recently lost her husband about 3 months ago, and she's now in a new relationship. So I want to know from you all, is there a timeline or time limit of, how long you should wait to get in another relationship after you leave a situation or after you lose a situation?
Uh, I'll let somebody else go. Go ahead, Jones.
I think. How long was that period again? How did she take?
He passed away 3 months ago, and I will say they have been together for probably 20 some years.
Hmm. Uh, yeah, outside looking in, to me it seemed like it's fast. I don't know how I feel to be in that situation. Like I can't say what I would do.
Yeah.
So, but now, like 90 days, like you can't wait. It's kind of crazy. Like you still might be getting certain stuff together, like rearranging in the house or something like that. Just think about other stuff
Yeah.
besides that. Try to get you.
Like Jones was saying, it depends on the situation because I'm pretty sure. Well, I could assume or guess that they probably um, have finished their romantic relationship well before he passed. So maybe that's why it's not a big deal for her. But if they were
Why
still
you
in
think
love,
that? Let me ask. Why you think that they ended it before he passed?
the reason why I think that because I don't follow them, real close, but I feel like I remember something coming out about them not being together. And he was still alive, and it was like some news that she wasn't with him while he was battling his cancer. So
Okay.
I'm thinking that they was already separated for the most part, and they probably was still. I mean, I guess if you still married, you still there, but
Hmm.
it makes me think that they probably weren't together romantically, and they probably both knew what it was. Because you got to think if you was a partner in that relationship and you know you about to die, or you feel like you about to die, that's probably a conversation you probably have with your spouse about moving on and getting someone else, or I don't know the parameters of their relationship, so it's kind of hard to judge. But it looks
Hmm.
crazy from the outside in, but it could very well be a acceptable amount of time considering that he already knew.
Hmm. Javon, you back with us? Okay. Um,
Hollywood relationships move quick. Is she
that
considered
is true.
Hollywood?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood
Hmm.
relationships move quick. So, you know, we be getting stuff like 5, 6 months later, and they be on somebody else.
Hmm. Um, I think that, and it's just my personal opinion, but I think that regardless of how you leave a situation or, what the case may be, that everybody should take, some personal time after a romantic situation just to kind of reflect and, before you move on. But like you said, like I feel like when I look at Hollywood relationships, it seems like it's a totally different ball game, that everything is like way, way, what much speedier than with us regular folks. So yeah, I don't
Mhm.
know.
And considering we assuming that they was romantic all the way up till he died, but they could have been romantically separated for the last 2 years of his bad health. We just don't know. Like we don't know if they had an open relationship either. Like,
That's
we just
very
don't know.
true.
Yeah, we just don't
Yeah,
know.
we don't know. I will say that I don't think that they were separated while he was passed. They were definitely seen together and looking very much romantically involved close to his passing. So um
They in Atlanta, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Atlanta is open, so it could have been in one of those swinging relationships. Was she the only
That
one
could have
swinging?
been.
You know what I mean?
That could have been. It's definitely been public for a while that he's been battling cancer. So, and she even let us know before he passed that he was actually dying. So, like you said, I'm sure that they did have some kind of conversation around it. Um, And I do also get the aspect too of maybe not wanting to be alone when you're grieving and, maybe feeling lonely, especially if you've been in a long term relationship. So I do understand that. And I just hope that, whatever the case may be, that she's happy. But yeah, I was just wondering if you all thought that in general, um, there
Right.
was, some time that people should take.
Well, to chime in on the last part of it, being that I kept cutting out, um, I think it's to each is the merit to understand what the relationship is. I mean, it's very situational, based on anything on the outside looking in. Um, like you said, from both sides in the merit of it, we don't know exactly the extent of their relationship. They could have been open swingers, closed swingers, signed contract with people. We don't know. You know what I mean? But in the merit of it, I mean, like in the situational, uh, based on if there's time that's needed to, I guess, take that step and move on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, on that note, fellas, that's all that I had. Thank y'all so much for chiming in with me, and I will check y'all later.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right.